Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Treble Clef Project. Today I'm joined with another very talented special guest, and she's going to introduce herself and tell us about a performance arts related activity that she's involved in.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eshna. My pronouns are she, her, and I've been in the band program in our district since fourth grade. Um, I'm gonna be a senior next year at Doherty Valley, and I play the bassoon.
Awesome. So, when did you get started in band? When did you really start it?
So band, like I said, I started in fourth grade, but I really started playing the bassoon in sixth grade. And the reason was so that because I wanted a little bit more of a challenge as I continued through the band program. I played clarinet throughout elementary school. Isha and I were together in band. um, and I wanted to upgrade to something a little harder, and the bassoon just seemed interesting to me. So yeah.
So, for people who don't know like what the bassoon is, can you kind of explain what that instrument is?
I can try. It's kind of hard to, but um, I mean, it's a pretty large instrument. I think there's a total of I think 9 to 10 feet of tubing. Um, and it's probably after it's all like put together, it's probably like 5 feet tall or something like that. I don't know. um, and it's a bass instrument, so it plays all like the low, like bass slash middle, so it plays like low notes, and it's kind of like uh, one of the lower instruments in the band. I don't really know how else to describe it. I mean, feel free to like look up a picture or something, but yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about your experience being in band and playing the bassoon.
So, like I said, I've been playing since sixth grade, and since sixth grade, I've been in multiple different ensembles from like honor bands, and like right now, I'm in a youth symphony outside of school. And so all of this just means like I've had lots of opportunities to play in concerts, play with different kinds of people. Last year before COVID, I had the opportunity to play with a professional bassoonist. She is a professor. She's like the professor of music at UOP. And so we played through my symphony with her. And so that's a little bit about my experience with the bassoon. And then in band itself, I've been involved since fourth grade. In high school, I'm in band council. I've been in band council since sophomore year. And it's a great opportunity for me to get involved with something I really love to do and like help out Miss Muzel and the other band students have a great experience in school.
What do you enjoy the most about playing the bassoon?
Um, Honestly, I love most that it is a challenge. Like there's always something new that's going wrong every day I pick it up. There's something different that I have to tackle. Um, and it's a great way for me to relieve stress because it gives me something to like focus on when everything else in my life is hectic. I know I can like pick up my bassoon, focus on whatever piece I'm working on at the time, and just kind of work my way through it and figure it out however I want.
And along the same lines, what is a challenge that you've faced with this instrument?
Um, Well, most of the challenges that I face with this instrument are all like musical related, specific to the instrument. Because if you don't know the bassoon, it's a super like temperamental instrument in terms of if it's cold outside, it'll like tune differently or it'll play differently. If it's hot outside, it'll play differently. And then based on like the reed or like different parts of the environment, if it's humid or dry, like there's all these little nuances that will immediately affect how the bassoon sounds. And so this is mostly because it's made of wood, so it like expands and everything depending on the temperature. So that's kind of the biggest challenge of like how like each day I have to pick it up and it's almost like I'm playing a different instrument, different sounding instrument. I have to figure out how to make it sound the same. So that's kind of it's been fun trying to like navigate my way through that.
What is something that you've learned with your time with this instrument?
So surprisingly enough, the bassoon has taught me like life lessons. My private lesson teacher has this one mantra that he always says to me when I mess up. He says, embrace the suck, which basically means rather than like when you mess up, instead of getting scared and like getting timid or afraid to play out, which is something I used to do and I still do a lot. Like when I mess up, I'll get nervous And so he says, instead of getting nervous, like kind of embrace that you messed up and just keep playing through it. And so that's kind of something that can be applied to life, where like when you make a mistake or if something goes wrong in like your long-term plan, you can't kind of like you can't hide away from the problem. You have to face it head on. And so that's something I have to deal with every day with the bassoon. And then it's also something that can be applied to life.
How has the pandemic affected your music experience and the way you play?
So the biggest way is obviously the lack of in-person concerts and in-person events. That's kind of the hardest part for me because like playing with ensembles is what I love to do a lot. Even though the bassoon is not an instrument that gets heard a lot, it's not one of those like standing in like outstanding instruments that you can always hear when you're playing in a band. Just the experience of being in band, being in band class, or like my youth symphony, or the various ensembles that I didn't get to participate in this year. It's just a really fun experience because you have a bunch of people who love playing music and are playing challenging music. But I guess the pandemic also forced me to teach myself better technique because now I'm playing by myself and I can hear all the little mistakes I'm making. And I also got the chance to work on like longer pieces, longer solo bassoon pieces, which is not something I've had gotten to do before. So the pandemic had both pros and cons.
What is the most memorable experience you've had playing this instrument?
It's kind of hard to name one for me, but I guess like right now, one of the most what will probably be one of the most memorable experiences for me is earlier this month, like right at the beginning of June, I finally had my first in-person playing opportunity. So after like over a year of not playing in person at all with anybody, I played in a quintet, which is a group of five, a woodwind quintet, and we had a mini concert in Walnut Creek. So that was really fun because I finally got to play with people and I finally got to, I guess, in a way, like show off what I learned during the pandemic, you know? Um, so that was, for me, that was really amazing because like, finally I get to play with people. Finally, I get to hear how I sound, how I've gotten better. And so that'll probably be one of the most memorable experiences in the future.
And how has band been online? How has that environment been?
Um, so obviously it's been hard, and as band council, I've been trying to support the band program and Miss Muselle and our class as best as we can because honestly, it's really boring when you're playing in person. I mean, not playing in person, sorry. Like playing online, you're just sitting in your room and like for a bass instrument like me, that basically means either I'm playing the same melody over and over and over again for like 5 minutes, or I'm playing like whole notes for 5 minutes. And that's just exhausting. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit in my room and do that. So band this year honestly was really more of just trying to get kids engaged by doing like we did like games and things like that, and like keeping them interested in band because especially the younger kids, they're gonna get bored by online band. Like us older kids, we know that next year we're gonna have so and so opportunities, so we tried a lot to do that. And like yeah, that was mostly what we focused on.
Why do you think the arts, specifically music, is important and why should it be encouraged in youth?
Like I mentioned, music for me is a huge like stress buster, stress reliever. It's something I can always turn to if I like need to calm down out of like the hectic daily life because it's something that's always there. And besides just like being able to have something to um like have pieces to let go of your emotions on, right? You can express yourself. The band program itself, especially in our area, is huge and it's full of amazing people who like band is probably like the one place I feel like I belong the most because in band, it's just a group of students who are excited about music to play together. It's not about like, oh, I'm doing so and so, I'm doing this many AP classes and you're not, or like, I'm in this grade, you're younger than me. It's like none of that is there. It's just like all of us having fun, putting together events and like going to pep games and things like that. So besides just having the opportunity to express yourself, you have a family. We say that a lot in band that we're like a band family, and that really is true. And so that's why I always encourage people to join the band program if they can, because the environment is just so welcoming.
What advice do you have for people who want to get involved in music and band?
I would say just go for it. I feel like a lot of people, especially when you kind of start getting older, get nervous to join band because you're like, oh, everybody's like been in band for so long. Like, I'm not going to be as good. But if it's something you like to do, just go for it. If it's something you want to try out, even just for 1 year, like do it because we have, like I said, we have amazing people in the band program. We're all willing to help you if you want it. And you might find something that you really love to do that you've never tried before. So yeah, just go for it.
All right, well, those are all the questions I had for today. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing your knowledge and experience with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
That's all for the video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on Wednesday for another video. Bye, everyone.